Hello, welcome to our 716 Country YouTube channel, and today we're going to be discussing the Bills versus Jags reaction, and because this game really does mean a lot to the Bills season, especially with how it went, obviously. If we would have won convincingly, then it would have meant nothing, and we'd be on our way. However, the Bills took a 6-9 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were 1-6 going into the game, and leaving a lot of Bills fans scratching their heads and wondering where this season's really going to go. In 2019, the Bills' offense was just atrocious, while the defense carried us to the playoffs. In 2020, the offense was fantastic, while the defense was losing us games. And this year, it's honestly kind of coming back to the offense being terrible and the defense carrying us through our games. As today we couldn't even put up more than 6 points against one of the worst teams in the league. To be noted, the defense continued to play really well this game. Trevor Lawrence didn't even have 200 yards passing. He barely had 100 yards passing and had to just throw 120 yards to get a win on the game. Rushing-wise, we didn't allow a crazy amount of yards. Their leading rusher had 67 yards on 21 carries, averaging 3.2, and the rest of nobody else really matters too much on that end. And, I think that we do have to accept that, it wasn't all bad in this game. We were able to have, I think we brought down Trevor Lawrence one time this entire game, which, has always been a problem for the Bills, getting sacks. We can get to the quarterback. It's finishing with a sack. However, still, I don't have any major complaints on the defensive side besides maybe some penalties early on. But really, this one is a completely 100% on the offense. And for what it means, I don't think it's even on Allen 100%. It's most obviously some of it's on Allen, not a lot of it. What do you think is the main thing that brought us down in this game?
I think it all starts with coaching. Brian Daboll did an awful job, to say the least, like he has most year. We should probably be 8-0, but our offensive play calling has brought us to our record of now, which is 5-3. I think he needs to coach the O-line better, or we should cut them all.
And
Other than
honestly, when you say cut them all, I complete that. It sounds really aggressive. Obviously, we can't do it middle of the season, but next year, I am dead serious when I say I don't want to see a single one of our linemen that played in today's game back for next year.
No, I agree.
I want to see. I said this in my post, and I don't know if you read the reaction what I wrote, but I said I want to see a report that comes out that the entire line staff is there till midnight every single night. I don't care. I want these guys to literally be worked into the ground this week because that's simply what we need to have. We need to have that.
I think McDermott will get this line back to what a good line should look like. If that's average, sure. I would love an average line, but it is way below average. This is one of the worst lines in the NFL currently.
I really do feel for Josh Allen on a lot of these plays when the line, their defensive line. This is the Jaguars' defensive line. And I'm not saying that they're complete garbage. They're not high end, obviously. So when we are letting these guys get straight to Josh on 50% or more of downs, that's a major, major issue. And it's not just a thing that we're not going to win games like that. It's it's worrisome. Allen could get injured, and if Allen's down, let me tell you what, this team is not even making the playoffs this year. If Allen were to go down next week, we aren't even going to be a top 8 team in the AFC. So I really hate when people go after Allen right now when I don't really think he has not being given to him, right? It's not that
Yeah.
easy plays aren't coming to him. It's that the line is making it the hardest possible path for Josh Allen to complete passes and have a good game. It's really rough to watch.
No, I agree. And not only the line, I think, like I said earlier, the offensive play calling. Um, there's questionable decisions Daboll makes, like, throwing it to Beasley on a screen 10 times a game isn't going to work when he only gets 2 yards
8
every single
receptions
time.
for 30 yards is not a stat line that you want to see. 31 complete passes for 260 yards is not something I want to see. We can't complete a downfield pass, and it's almost like Daboll is trying to game plan around the fact that his line is horrible, then going at the line specifically and addressing that problem.
Yeah.
If you keep, it's like if a water pipe bursts and you close up one hole, another hole is just going to keep opening. How about you just fix the entire water pipe? You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I'm seeing this, and it's really starting to affect us. The fact that the line is just so bad, and not just protecting Allen, we can't create a hole for our run game. I used to think it was the running backs. I don't think it is anymore. I see so many
No.
third string, fourth string running backs coming in when their starters get hurt. For example, Ravens, Chiefs, and they're running fine still. So I really think this is the run game, just the scheming being bad, which still falls on Daboll, or just the line being bad, which also, in my opinion, can fall on Daboll. Because we know the guys on the line aren't the worst, right?
No.
Talent-wise. Some of them need to go, but really, these guys, you're telling me these guys can't create a hole for the run game? I get that we're not a run-first team, but you have to run. It's increasingly becoming a problem having zero run game.
Yeah. I think we could have had a better run game. Obviously Zach Moss got hurt today. Got a concussion. I think it's tough to have a run game with one of those guys out, Singletary or Moss. I think having them in a rotation is what we like to do every game, and I wonder what's going to happen next week if Zach Moss doesn't play. I don't know.
I think that we
Well,
should really try to make our run game more of a threat. To just one, we saw it. We're seeing it happen with the Chiefs, for example, right now, where teams have kind of figured out how to address their passing game. Therefore, they're just not even really the same. They're not able to pass anymore. They're not able to do these deep downfield throws like they used to because teams have figured out, hey, if who cares if they run for 200 yards on us, or who cares if they get 150, 200 yards even under us. The second they go over us, they win. So that's how people have addressed the Chiefs. I'm wondering if the same thing's happening to the Bills right now because of the lack of run game, because of the lack of ability to whatever.
I totally agree. But with that, like you said, the deep balls, we've had a lot of opportunities this year. Allen has not been able to make a lot of his throws downfield. That's one of the few things I will criticize him on. Um, he makes a lot of good throws. Like today, he made that one over
Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen. That was a terrific throw, but he makes a lot of bad ones each game too, which
And that kind of goes with the interceptions where he's trying to make a play while being sacked. With a guy
yeah,
like as talented as Josh Allen, you got to take the good with the bad because obviously the good does very much overpower the bad in most games. Josh Allen isn't put in that situation where he feels the need to throw while being sacked if he's not being hit by a defensive lineman every single play. And I mean that very literally. They only had 4 sacks on us, which still is not even close to good. But Allen is able to escape pressure with his legs so much where he is actually being pressured close to every single attempt. And yeah, that's just it's something that's got to be fixed. What else do you think that? What else did you see that you really thought was a big issue
I mean,
this game?
I want to add one thing. I don't find this to be a big issue, but Allen, I feel like he sits in the pocket too long, like
So,
longer than he should sometimes.
occasionally, I feel the same way. He's got to get rid of the ball, which leads me to one of my issues. I think that Daboll is calling up plays where the receivers take 5 seconds to get open.
True.
You don't have a line to do this. Yes, Allen does have checkdowns open on on some of the plays where the receivers take a while to get open. Guess what? When you got a guy as explosive as Josh Allen, when you have players that are as explosive as Stephon Diggs, you don't want to throw checkdown after checkdown after checkdown after checkdown. That's not something that's going to get you through games. It's not something that's get your players hyped up. It's not going to get something. It's not going to get you wins in the NFL. Checkdown after checkdown. So I don't give a shit that he doesn't take his checkdowns every time. He's been checking down the ball 4 times as much as he ever has in his career, and it's at this point pissing me off. He can't find a receiver downfield open ever. Which once again falls on Daboll. I think that Daboll is, I'm officially just going to say it, he is the most overrated coaching figure in the NFL. Everyone's saying how we need to get Daboll as our head coach next year to fix our shitty-ass team. Daboll's not going to help you. People want to credit Daboll with Josh Allen's success. Josh Allen was the reason for his own success. Daboll didn't do shit last year. If you watched the Bills games and you were a Bills fan, think about it right now. Allen was the reason that offense was so fantastic last year. Not really so much Daboll. And just look at the facts given to us. In 2019, our offense was bad. In 2021, our offense is bad. 2 out of 3. That's 33% of the time you're doing good. Technically, is Brian Daboll. Get the guy out of here. I want a new offensive coordinator. I'm done with the guy, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
I
want to add one more thing. I know Stephon Diggs had 6 receptions, 85 yards, but he could have been incorporated in the offense even more. He could have had 150 yards today.
That's a perfect segue to our next the topic that I wanted to get to for the second part of this video. And that is, how do we address the current problems? Like we said, we want an all new line next year. That can't happen this year. So what do we have to do to fix it? And that is a perfect example of one thing that I need to see next week, the week after that, and for the rest of this year. Stephon Diggs is a top 5, arguably top 3 receiver in the league right now. In 2020, he was the number 1 receiver in the league, statistically anyway, how he played. And 6 receptions, 85 yards is not bad on the surface. This is a man who not just deserves to have 10 plus receptions a game, but who needs to have 10 plus receptions a game. Get the guy the fucking ball. Get the man the ball. He's so talented, and he works so hard. He's a man that needs to see the ball 10 times a game.
I feel like we've seen Emmanuel Sanders more than
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. And that's surprising.
We know Diggs can escape double coverage. It's how about we just really game plan, no matter what, this ball is going to Diggs on this play. Make more plays where he's given the ball is put in his hands to make a play. I'm saying if we want to do more, screens, and I'm not talking about the shitty ones we do with him usually where it's just a now route and he has to make a play. How about we give him the ball on some sweeps? How about we give him the ball on some bubbles? How about we, just anything like that? He needs to get the ball. That's one thing that needs to happen.
And I was going to say the same thing with the screens. I mean, he's great in open space, unlike Cole Beasley. He kind of sits there and tries to get 1 yard every time he gets the ball on a screen pass. I don't get it. We need Diggs to get screens, I think.
Yeah. We were both talking about just maybe like just a speedy guy.
Yeah.
We got a lot of pieces on this offense. You can always add pieces. We've seen that with the Bucks, the Rams, other teams like that. If we can just find maybe some guy who we can just send on streaks over and over and over who can beat the heavy secondaries we're facing. Especially if we get a guy like that, it'll open more up midfield. I think. Hopefully.
I agree. I like Isaiah McKenzie, but I don't.
He's not talented enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Right now, we should not be looking at this team as Super Bowl contenders right now. We are not. We're not going to win a playoff game. We're not even looking like a playoff team right now. We just lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That needs to be stressed more than anything. We need to try new things. And if we just keep riding off of last year, which I think Daboll's doing, then we're going to be absolutely screwed. We need to make serious changes now. We have some weak opponents ahead of us, but we're facing the Jets is my point. This is a team where we need to, what I want to see is I want to see us get up 30-0. I kid you not, 30-0 in the first half. We need to have a super explosive offense, and the rest of the game, we need to pound the rock with Singletary and hopefully Moss when he's back. We need to make sure we have a run game. Yeah. I can't stress the importance of that.
No, I agree. I'm scared. If we play like we did today on offense against the Jets, we're going to lose that game. The Jets are a competitive team.
A more competitive team than the Jags, for sure. If we continue to play like this, we're going to lose to the Saints. For sure going to lose to the Bucks. We're going to lose to the Colts. We're going to lose to the Patriots. We cannot see a single other game that looks like this. In the words of Josh Allen, the Bills played like shit. There's no other way. There's no other way around it. And if we continue to play like shit, we're going to be a shit team. We need to see, not only for the players, but for the fans and for the franchise as a whole, we need to see major improvements right now. Like, literally tomorrow, they need to be putting in major improvements, major changes in the team. The league has started to slowly figure out the offense that they were running last year. And the NFL is a copycat league. We are going to be continued to be figured out and continue to be dominated on offense until we make changes to our offense. That's just how it's going to be.
I will say, luckily, we're not in the NFC, where they're way more competitive right now.
Oh, yeah.
The AFC is up and down, and we're going to get lucky with that. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. The AFC is up in the air. The AFC is up in the air completely.
Yep.
So, am I saying it's over for the Bills? Not even close. Am I saying that we're not the way we're playing? We're not even going to win a playoff game. That is exactly what I'm saying. We should not hold ourselves as these high and mighty Super Bowl contenders anymore. We should look at every single game with worry. That is currently how I'm feeling. That's currently how I'm feeling.
Yeah. And
I want to see major improvements.
I think McDermott will send us in the right direction. He's an amazing coach. He's strict. He'll get it done for sure. Now Daboll, you might have to have a talk with that guy, because that's where the weak side of the team is right now.
For the people that might see this video and say they're going too hard on the Bills, we just lost to a 1-6 Jacksonville Jaguars team. We lost to a team whose quarterback didn't even throw for 120 yards. We lost to a team whose starting running back was Carlos Hyde. We lost to a team whose leading receiver was Dan Arnold. We lost to a team who has historically, since the start of their franchise, aside from Jacksonville that 1 year, been awful. We lost to a team whose coach is already having his name called for to be fired at the end of this year. We lost to a team who is literally the embodiment of failure. That is who we lost to, and we need to be treated as a team who lost to that team. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Anything else?
No. Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Well, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. If you're new to this channel, subscribe for sure. We're going to be posting much more videos in the future, and thank you for watching.